After more than 15 years of field research, the Explant group decided to step up into the alien phenomenon. Since INEC's three-level classification of close encounters, the extent of the incidents and case studies grew to a degree of complexity which called for a new perspective in the interaction between humans and the visitors, shifting the prime focus of the investigation from the flying crafts to the extraterrestrial or interterrestrial biological entities, EBE, IBE. Close Encounters X, or CEX, is the TXP's 5-level classification of alien interference. CEX-1, or sighting of flying objects at great distance. CEX-2, or sighting of flying objects at medium or close range, which results in a modification of the environment. CEX-3, or sighting of EBE, IBE on the ground, with or without a craft. CEX-4, or human EBE, IBE interaction on all levels, from abductions to conflicts to cooperation. CEX-5, or human EBE, IBE product, from hybrids to clones to engineered living creatures, ELC.
Here we are again, Diego Antolini from Italy, the Explant group, with Leah Capitelli, Australia. Leah is with us today for the 8th time. It's episode 8 for the Starseed series. It seems like a lifetime, but in fact we've only recorded 8 episodes, but you know, the time and the situation are making things not that easy, the distance between us, but we just keep going no matter what. We have still a few episodes to go, but we are very proud that we get to this point, because today Leah is going to continue what she started a couple of episodes ago when she talked to us about her past lives. And in particular, she talked to us about her life in Atlantis, the lost continent, and one of her most vivid memories that she recalls from her past lives, in particular when she was living towards the last period of Atlantis, the last, I think, couple of decades, 20 or 30 years before Atlantis fell. She told us what happened. She told us about the crystals. She told us about how the Atlanteans people were exploiting those crystals in a way that was not supposed to, and to quote her words, the crystal retaliated in a most amazing way, just by destroying themselves and in the process dragging Atlantis with them. So I just give you a short reminder of what happened in the episodes that we recorded about Leah's past lives. But today we have a news. We have something new, because today Leah is going to show us some of the material that it's in her book. In her book, here it is, like, shows the cover. There you are. You see, this is the book. So remember, it took... is very thick, and is not only thick, but it's full of memories, it's full of stories, and it's full of emotions and feelings. It's not a book that was easily made. She took more than 2 years to make it, and it's not just because of writing. It's because the content that it's in it. It's completely unique and absolutely authentic. It comes straight out of Leah's memories, one of the past lives that she remembers. This is maybe this one is the clearest one that she has, but by no means is the only one. So Leah, I give you the word now, because I would like you to take us into the book, into the story, to show us what's in it and what are we going to read if we buy your book.
First of all, that was a marvelous introduction. Thank you so much. When you started talking about when you were doing the recap about Atlantia, I think I got a bit emotional, like because it's an emotional topic, as you can imagine. But yes, this book took about nearly 4 years to write. So it's not just, as you said, it wasn't just the writing process. It wasn't just the editing process. It was quite literally blood, sweat, and tears were poured into this, and I can't believe it's here. Actually, it's actually here, and um, when I was writing it, it wasn't there were some points in different lives. It wasn't just one particular, or you know, all of them had their own kind of residue, emotional residue that were left behind, um, and particularly when it came to the certain dare I say unjust moments, which I hadn't ever really properly recovered from. You can call it soul trauma if you want. But yeah, there were just some things that were quite traumatic, and I put it all in here. So yeah, I don't want to give too many spoilers away, even though I'd love to talk about it because I'm one of those people who are like, and then this happened. No, no, it's not going to happen this time. I'm wise to that now. Um, but some of my more not not well like I certainly have the most memories, but however, that this particular life I wasn't the most happiest. It was probably one of my more saddest lives when I was in Atlantia. There were certainly good and happy parts and moments to that life, but my life as a whole was very uncomfortable. It wasn't. I I grew up in a society where psychic abilities were kind of like, you know, a very common thing. It wasn't something that like telepathy everyone could do, with the right training anyone could do. Um, reading auras, looking at auras, being able to see if somebody's sick or healthy or even pregnant as well. It was not. It wasn't. It was easy. It was like it was just part of life, another way of communication and awareness. Um, I didn't have those gifts. I didn't have. I did have a few, but they were very muted down, and it was kind of. I was kind of considered to be disabled in some way. Dare I say that? But had this. I was looked down upon, and but I'm not the type of person to be pitied in these situations. I was the type of person that like I resented everybody, and I reminded everyone that why they didn't like me, Um, but my home life wasn't the best either, despite having being well off relatively. Um, yeah, I I was often neglected emotionally speaking, so I wasn't a happy child in that manner either. But I remember one day I hated being at home. I do remember I hated being at home. I hated my parents. But I remember one day I went to my father mentioned to me that he was contacted by a woman who was claiming to be his daughter from a previous relationship, and that kind of threw a further divide between us because um, we weren't already on the best of terms. But then now that this person came into our lives, into our family, into our house, literally several times, she kind of stole the spotlight. She stole the spotlight, and I kind of felt pushed aside again, and even worse. And um, I tried to do everything I could possibly think of to get her out. Like I, I lied about all sorts of things, to like, she stole something, she broke something, she tried to, you know, trying to, whenever she would leave, something would go missing, so, to try and paint her as more of a villain. But yeah, those are some more of the younger years I had as Delta and Brahe. So yeah, she's a sorry person, but she's not the greatest. Is not the greatest.
And what is
Um,
maybe you want to delight us with a passage from the book that can give us
Passing.
an
Oh god.
idea, just a paragraph that gives an idea of what we can find
Okay.
inside. You just pick one.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Hang on. Just you're gonna have to give me a second on this one.
Of course,
Um.
absolutely.
All right. So this. You know what? I just found the perfect.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay, please go
All
ahead.
right. All right. It's gonna be good. Okay. um. All right. Let me just. So just to give you context, I was in a fight with a boy. I was young at the time. Delta wasn't finished with him. She wanted to do so much more. Her hands found their way around the scruff of his formal robe and, using all of her power, tossed the boy over the edge of the cliff. His body slapped against the water surface. His arms and legs were now flailing to keep his bobbing head above water. Delta hadn't realized the chanting had stopped. She wasn't aware of the children's desperate calls for adults and their attempts to reach and save Anobus. Watched when she realized what she had done. Her heart sank at her actions. She was in deep trouble.
Excellent. As you
So
can
I tried
see,
drowning somebody.
yeah, and before you show drawings, I would just like to
Yes,
call up for a moment this passage that you can see. It's a passage that is full of action and a visual description is something that you can tell. I mean, she just opened a book casually and she found this passage, and we can see that there is emotion. There is not just a light memories, but there are some uh, what fury or hatred or some grudge. I mean, the life that she lived must not have been easy. As she said, she was like an outcast in a society that was almost perfect. So
yes,
we could say that her her past Leah was the almost an imperfect being in a almost perfect society. So this conflict in itself, it's so interesting and it's well worth reading. As I said
mhm,
in 2 episodes ago, I I ordered the book and I still have to get it. But given the circumstances, I'm okay. I'm patient, but I'm really looking forward to read it. And now, Leah, show us some drawings
yes,
because Leah, as
absolutely.
you know, for the users that already watched the episode, she's also a great painter. She's an artist. She can draw some remarkable beings. That's all part of her memory or her circle of ET friends. So please show us what you got in the book.
Yeah, absolutely. So these are just some of the few. Hang on, just hey.
Mm-hmm. So
Hmm.
describe what we're seeing here.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So you see the couple at the bottom here.
Yes.
This is just a depiction of two Atlantean people. This is no one in particular. This person up here is just I think I intended to draw that to be me, but it was quite some time ago, and Delta is holding a crystal in her hand. So to kind of have a sort of like to signify the Atlanteans
Mm-hmm.
grab and grasp for power and symbolism.
Sure.
The
Wow.
next images. These are just two of the same, basically just done slightly differently. This was the other sister, basically. that I did a couple times. I love the image so much because it just shows how much they love each other. You can tell. Look at their faces. All that love. Look how much love there is. They just want to hug each other until the day they die. So.
And this is just one of the examples of mixing up words with blending words with images in a piece of work that costed
Exactly.
Leah a long time. So we, as much as we appreciate her words and her memories, I believe that writing a book was the right thing to do and was even though maybe a little sacrifice in terms of recalling all these sad or conflicting memories, at least Leah is giving us to our time something that we may and we should remember. It's one of the few, it's not the only one, of course, we have other testimonies, but it's not so common to actually have a testimony straight from that time from someone who recalls everything in detail. So, Leah, I must thank you for this. Thank you for showing us the drawings, so for opening the book for us a little bit and even reading the passage, which is something that usually authors are a little reluctant to do. But
Oh,
I hope, I admit I insisted. So off camera, I asked Leah to do that.
I am vain enough. I will, if you asked me to read this whole thing, I would have done it because I love talking about it. So you're gonna have to turn this video off for me to stop talking. So
Yeah, it would take probably more than the Starseed series as a whole, so no, we can't do that. Maybe in the future we could have some reading episodes if if we want to continue this. But for now, the Starseed series, the objective is to just give a glimpse of what Leah can communicate to the world. She's already doing a very good job with her conferences, the public speaking, and the book, her social activities online. But we feel that our relationship has, deepened and has developed over these years that we've been in touch, even on camera with the Starseed series, but also off camera. So the more I know Leah and the more I understand that there is so much more that she can and would like to tell. So in closing up this episode, Leah, I just want you to say one more thing about your book and where we can find it and what's next. What are you doing next?
wow, fantastic. So, thank you. And yes, wow. My book is available. You can check it out. It's available it's available only on online distributors, and that's really important to emphasize. So majority of the most well-known distributors like Amazon, US, Australian, UK. You can also find my book on Booktopia, Barnes and Noble. I think it's Agnes and Robinson, I believe, and many others. So if you just check out my website, if you go directly to my website at www.starnovusleah.wix.com, you will find details. But you'll link the website exactly. I think I might have messed up my website address. I'm famous for that. But yeah, just check it out in the shops, and yeah, you'll find it there. And yeah, leave a review, guys. I'm always looking for feedback. If it's good, if you liked it, tell me. If you didn't like it, tell me. I'm anxious to hear what you have to say because. My goal is to be able to communicate my experiences better. And if I can't do that in writing, I need to be told. So there you go.
Excellent. Very good, Leah. I'm sure that a lot of people will like it and you will get great feedback as you are getting feedback, of course, because it's the book is already online for some time. So Leah is collecting feedback and it's very helpful. Now, I will hope before the Starseed series will be over, I'll be able to read the book so I can give also my feedback to you. And if not, I'll
You
give
have
it to you
one.
offline. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, so our time is up. As usual, we have a clock ticking. So, Leah, episode 8 concludes with this beautiful announcement about her book. And see you next on episode 9. There will be a surprise about that episode, so we will not anticipate anything. We'll just thank you guys, all the users, for being in touch with us, for watching Leah and the Starseed series. And stay tuned because we're going to get 2 more episodes very soon. Thank you, Leah. Have a good day.
Thank you. Ciao. See
Bye
ya.
bye.